biology of and anatomy of beluga whales. Welcome to the mysterious world of the beluga whale, the ghostly white singer of the Arctic seas. Imagine you're swimming in the icy waters of the far north when suddenly you hear a haunting melody echoing through the depths. As you turn to look, a pale, bulbous shape emerges from the gloom. It's a beluga whale, and it's singing directly to you. But beware, dear viewer, for these gentle giants have a dark secret. Legend has it that sailors who hear the beluga's song are doomed to be lost at sea forever. Their ships guided by the whale's eerie calls into treacherous waters from which they can never escape. Is it true? Or just an old sailor's tale? Let's dive deep into the fascinating world of the beluga whale and uncover the truth behind these mysterious creatures. The beluga whale appearance and adaptations. The beluga whale, also known as the white whale or sea canary, is a marvel of nature. Unlike their larger cousins like the blue whale or the sperm whale, belugas are relatively small, growing to about 13 to 20 feet long. That's about the length of a big car or a small boat. Let's start with their most striking feature, that big bulbous forehead. Scientists call it a melon, and it's not just for show. This melon is actually a sound lens, helping the beluga focus its vocalizations and echolocation clicks. It's kind of like having a built-in megaphone and ear trumpet all in one. Now let's talk about that white skin. Unlike most whales, which are dark gray or black, belugas are ghostly white. This isn't just for looks. It's a clever adaptation to their icy Arctic home. The white color helps them blend in with the ice, making it harder for predators like polar bears and killer whales to spot them. It's nature's camouflage, kind of like how a snowshoe hare turns white in winter to hide from foxes. But here's something really wild. Baby belugas aren't white at all. They're born dark gray, almost blue-black. It takes them years to fade to their adult white color. Imagine if human babies were born with dark skin that slowly turned lighter as they grew up. That would be quite a sight. Evolutionary history and relatives of beluga whales. Now let's dive into the beluga's family tree. These whales are part of a group called the Monodontidae, which includes their closest living relative, the narwhal. Yes, that's right. The unicorn of the sea is the beluga's cousin. Both of these Arctic whales evolved from a common ancestor about 5 million years ago. But the beluga's family history goes back much further. A fascinating study by Dr. Sarah Healy from the University of Cambridge revealed that the ancestors of belugas and narwhals split from other toothed whales about 30 million years ago. Dr. Healy's research showed that these ancient whales adapted to life in cold waters, developing specialized features like thick blubber and the ability to swim under ice. Beluga whales swimming and survival. Speaking of swimming, belugas are true masters of the Arctic waters. Unlike most whales, they don't have a dorsal fin. This might seem like a disadvantage, but it's actually another clever adaptation. The lack of a dorsal fin allows them to swim easily under ice sheets, squeezing through gaps that would stop other whales in their tracks. It's like they have a built-in icebreaker. But what really sets belugas apart is their flexibility. Most whales have fused neck vertebrae, which means they can't turn their heads. Belugas, on the other hand, have unfused neck vertebrae, giving them the ability to turn their heads and even nod. This flexibility helps them maneuver in tight spaces and catch quick-moving prey. Imagine if you could turn your head all the way around like an owl. That's kind of what it's like for a beluga. Beluga whales' vocalizations and intelligence. Now let's talk about the beluga's superpower, their voice. Remember how we called them sea canaries earlier? Well, that's because they're incredibly vocal. Belugas can make a wide range of sounds from whistles and squeaks to moos and even barks. They use these sounds to communicate with each other, navigate in murky waters, and find food. But here's where it gets really interesting. A groundbreaking study by Dr. Elena Botvinnik from the Russian Academy of Sciences found that beluga whales can actually mimic human speech. In her research, she recorded a beluga named Nak, who could say words like out and hello in a voice that sounded eerily human. It's almost like they're trying to talk to us. This ability to mimic sounds isn't just a party trick. It's a sign of high intelligence. Belugas have large, complex brains relative to their body size. In fact, Their brain-to-body ratio is second only to humans among all mammals. This means they're capable of complex problem-solving and social behaviors. Beluga whales, pods, and family life. Speaking of social behavior, belugas are very social creatures. They live in groups called pods, which can range from a few individuals to hundreds of whales. These pods are like big underwater families, with mothers, aunts, and grandmothers all helping to raise the young. And when it comes to raising young, belugas are pretty special. Like all mammals, they give birth to live young and nurse them with milk. But beluga milk is nothing like the milk you might drink with your cereal. It's super rich, with about 28% fat content. That's more than 10 times fattier than whole cow's milk. This high-fat milk helps baby belugas, called calves, grow quickly and develop a thick layer of blubber to keep them warm in the chilly Arctic waters. Beluga whales' feeding and hunting habits. Now, let's dive into the beluga's hunting habits. These whales are opportunistic feeders, which means they'll eat pretty much anything they can catch. Their diet includes fish, squid, octopus, and even bottom-dwelling creatures like crabs and clams. They use their echolocation to find food, sending out sound waves that bounce off objects and come back to them, creating a sort of sound picture of their surroundings. But here's a cool fact. Belugas don't have teeth like we do. Instead, they have peg-like teeth that they use to grab and hold onto their prey. Once they've caught something, they swallow it whole. Imagine if you had to swallow all your food without chewing. That would make eating spaghetti pretty challenging. Beluga whales' habitat and distribution. Now let's talk about where these amazing creatures live. Belugas are found in Arctic and subarctic waters from Russia and Greenland to Alaska and Canada. They're one of the few whales that can live year-round in Arctic waters, thanks to their thick layer of blubber and their ability to swim under ice. But here's where things get a bit sad. Climate change is having a big impact on beluga habitats. As the Arctic ice melts, belugas are losing the protected areas where they feed and raise their young. A recent study by Dr. Robert Michaud from the Group for Research and Education on Marine Mammals found that some beluga populations are struggling to adapt to these changes. It's a reminder of how our actions on land can affect life in the oceans. Beluga whales' inspiration for technology and science. On a more positive note, belugas have been inspiring scientists and engineers to create new technologies. Their echolocation abilities have helped in the development of sonar systems, and their flexible bodies have inspired designs for underwater robots. Imagine a robot that could swim under ice sheets and explore parts of the ocean we've never seen before, all thanks to the humble beluga. Dr. Janet Voigt, a marine biologist from the Field Museum in Chicago, has been studying how beluga whales navigate in the dark, murky waters of the Arctic. Her research has led to improvements in underwater navigation systems for submarines and deep-sea exploration vehicles. It's amazing to think that these whales are helping us explore the ocean depths. Belugas versus humans. Now, let's take a moment to compare belugas to us humans. While we both have large brains and complex social structures, there are some big differences. For instance, belugas can hold their breath for up to 20 minutes, while most humans can only manage a minute or two. Their bodies are also much better adapted to cold temperatures. While we need thick coats and heated homes to survive in the Arctic, belugas thrive in near-freezing waters thanks to their thick blubber layer. But perhaps the biggest difference is in our hearing. While human ears are pretty good on land, they're not great underwater. But belugas, they can hear sounds from up to 12 miles away in the ocean. That's like being able to hear a whisper from one end of a big city to the other. Their hearing is so good that they can even detect the heartbeats of their prey. The enchanting song of the beluga. As we wrap up our journey into the world of the beluga whale, let's take a moment to appreciate these incredible creatures. From their ghostly white skin to their haunting songs, from their flexible necks to their mimicking abilities, belugas are truly one of the ocean's most fascinating inhabitants. So the next time you're near the Arctic seas, keep an ear out for beluga's song. But don't worry, contrary to the old legend, you won't be doomed to wander the seas forever. Instead, you might just find yourself enchanted by the beauty and mystery of these amazing whales. And who knows, maybe they'll even say hello.
Hooray!
Remember, These ghostly singers of the Arctic have much to teach us about adaptation, communication, and survival in one of the world's harshest environments. By studying and protecting belugas, we're not just learning about an amazing species, we're gaining insights that could help us better understand and explore our vast oceans. So let's do our part to ensure that the haunting melody of the beluga continues to echo through the Arctic seas for generations to come.